Did you know that an estimated 5 billion plastic hand soap and cleaning bottles are thrown away each year? That is such a lose-lose situation for you and the planet. Blueland is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials to be better for you and the planet with the same powerful clean you're used to. They offer refillable cleaning products with a beautiful, cohesive design that looks great on your counters. You'll never have to grab bulky cleaning supplies on your grocery run again. I seriously love all the products, from the cleaning sprays to hand soap, toilet bowl cleaner, and laundry tablets. The other day, my cleaner Lou, shout out as I know he listens, even commented on how good these products work. So professional house cleaner approved too. Blueland has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/dateable. You don't want to miss this. blueland.com/dateable for 15% off. That's blueland.com/dateable to get 15% off.
Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Krafchick.
We're active daters turned dating sociologists.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to the DATEABLE podcast. Hi, friends. Welcome to this week's episode of Brunch Talk, brought to you by the DATEABLE podcast. This is where we answer all of your burning dating questions in an amount of time that you would eat an omelet or drink a milkshake or drink a vodka soda or a mimosa. I'm going to just keep naming all the things you can eat or drink in about 20 minutes or less.
I feel like I'm getting hungry just hearing that. And now I want to do brunch on Sunday.
Yesterday, I walked by this place that had bottomless mimosas for $22. And the old me would have been like, hell yeah. And then the present me threw up in my mouth a little bit. It's like, oh, can't do it.
I don't think we ever did bottomless mimosas together, but I definitely did it before I met you, like every Saturday or Sunday. It was aggressive. And I just remember doing the day of bottomless mimosas. We'd start around 12. Back then, I used to work out all the time too. So I would work out in the morning because I knew it was just going downhill after. We'd do like 12 or 1 o'clock brunch. And then we just keep going. And I would be home by 10, pass out, and then I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. because I just was so disoriented and slightly hungover.
And then your week is fucked.
Yeah.
That's what bottomless mimosa does to you. I wonder if anybody who listens to this show quite a bit, they probably just think we get so trashed during brunch. That is all we ever talk about.
That was old us.
We have sober brunches. Thank you very much. The older, more mature versions of us, we do have sober brunches. But back in the day, I mean, hell, if you talked brunch, that was synonymous with getting blackout drunk.
Yeah. Well, actually, just recently we met up and it wasn't quite brunch. It was like maybe lunch more. But your friend brought over mimosas and I was just like, whoa, I haven't had mimosa pitcher in forever.
So it comes full circle because they have a kid. So they had a weekend away from their kid and thought they wanted to relive their 20s all over again.
He's like, why wouldn't we get mimosas?
Well, it was a good time.
I actually find that sometimes with people with kids, they want to rage more than people without that are in their late 30s, early 40s. I feel like if you don't have kids, a lot of times, I'm not saying everyone, but I think you and I'll leave it to you and I, so we're not making generalizations, that we've kind of just come out of that phase more.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like a special treat because it's like if we wanted to, we could any day. There's nothing holding us back, but we just don't really desire it anymore. Yet sometimes people with kids, they feel like they can't do it. So when they have that opportunity, it's go time.
I know. Another observation I've had recently is it's not that I'm opposed to drinking, but I want to know what kind of alcohol I'm putting into my body.
Oh my God.
And whether it's like high quality alcohol. So if I'm around really good alcohol, I might down a few drinks. But if it's like drinks that don't taste very good, I'm not drinking for the sake of getting drunk anymore. I actually want to enjoy every sip.
Yeah. And $20 bottomless mimosa is the bottom of the barrel champagne.
Is
it's
it
like
really,
Andre,
Julie?
$2. Yes. Newsflash, it's the bottom of the barrel. They're trying to make a profit, guys.
I remember my old landlord. I think I told you this, Julie. He used to get me the funniest Christmas presents. And it was very nice to get me presents anyway. I always just get him like cookies or something. And as soon as I drop off cookies at his door, immediately a gift follows. So you know it was not a planned gift. It was a reactive gift. The first year, he got me a used wallet and a screwdriver in an Anthropologie bag that was definitely not his because it had stains on it. He like pulled it out of the recycling bin. Okay. And then the second year, he gave me half a bottle of Quill Oak wine. Okay. A full bottle is $3.30.
Oh my God.
So a half bottle is $1.99.
That guy was such a character.
And first of all, I was like, why does this guy have a half bottle of Quill Oak wine sitting in his house anyway? And second of all, what am I going to do with this? I'm not that desperate to be drinking this right now. But what was good was that it catches fruit flies.
Oh my God. This guy, I mean, I remember when you would tell me about your gifts. I mean, he's clearly just pulling them out of his cupboard or anything that he doesn't want anymore.
Or trash.
It's just hilarious. But anyways, we've ranted about bad alcohol, so we might as well rant about something dating related. So here we go.
Okay. The question for this week is, how can I tell if someone likes me back?
Yeah. And for more context, I've been dating this girl and I'm getting mixed signals. Sometimes when we're out, it seems like she's really into me, but between dates, she goes radio silence. And sometimes it's hard to get a confirmation for the next date. Help, I'm confused if this person likes me or not.
First impressions of this question would be, if you have to question if someone likes you or not, it really doesn't matter if they like you or not. They're not giving you the right signals to have this be a healthy, stable relationship. We're so concerned with getting other people to like us back. Sometimes we don't stop to think about, do I even like this person and how they make me feel? So top line right here is, if you have to question if someone likes you, I think you have to question if you like them.
Yeah, I think mixed messages is a message.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we are saying, well, I'm unsure. I haven't heard back from them. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They're giving you a message without actually saying anything that it's not a priority to them. Maybe they still will go out with you when presented with the opportunity, but the lack of effort in between shows that this isn't something that's top of mind. Whether they like you, whether they're too busy, whether this isn't the right time in their life, it almost doesn't matter because all that's happening is that you're not having the relationship you want to have. So a message is being sold to you whether you like it or not.
And we'll go into a little bit more detail of all the different scenarios that you might be thinking about. What you're asking in this question is, you're asking for, is it when they touch your leg? Is it when they have a lingering look? Is it when they text you back right away? Those are all not signs of someone liking you back. Those are all signs of someone who may know how to build human connection or really know how to communicate. It has no indication of whether they like you or not. But what is a big indicator of someone liking you back is that they listen to you and they want to know how you're doing and they want feedback on what's going on, because it shows that they care about you. If they didn't like you, they wouldn't care, like, how are you doing? Are you having a good time? Do you think, we have a potential for something more? And that just shows someone who's thoughtful in thinking about you. And that's a clear sign of someone who does like you.
I think also when they integrate you in their life, and this doesn't mean date one, you have to meet all their friends and family. I'm not saying that, but do they want to initiate plans at least once a week and devote a night to you? That's integrating you in their life. I think it's really easy to just say yes to dates and to show up and have fun and, like you said, kiss each other. We hear all the time like, oh, but we kissed on the date, but then I haven't heard from them again. And I thought it was a good date, but we never talked afterwards. I think in the moment, it's easy to have fun, but that doesn't mean that someone likes you and can see a future with you. They're two very different things, and maybe is actually one of the most confusing parts of dating, because you think you had a good time and they had a good time, but it doesn't equate to what you're actually looking for.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. And just think about this. What are they doing that's easy and what are they doing that takes effort? Kissing you is not hard. That doesn't take much effort, especially after a few drinks. Very easy to kiss someone. Holding your hand or stroking your hair, while you're together, that's all easy ways of showing affection. But what does take effort is someone who is making making plans, someone who is reaching out, someone who is giving you that consistent communication and validation without you asking for it. That takes effort. So if you're looking for signs of someone liking you back, just ask, are they making the effort or are they just relying on what's easy to do?
I think too, what happens in between the dates is almost more important than what happens on the date.
Yeah.
Of course, you need that connection in real life. Absolutely. But if you're seeing this, like the example we got, it's almost like hot and cold behavior.
Yeah.
That on the date, it's on and it's clear they like them. But then in between, there's all these mixed messages and no messages and questioning that's happening. It feels like in that world, like that's the more difficult part, to get out of your comfort zone, to make the time, to start to integrate this person in your life and to be curious about this person. Those are the signs that they like you. And if that's not happening in between, it almost doesn't matter if you have a wonderful time on the date, pending you want someone that's going to be there for it all.
I will throw this out to all of you and say that the onus is kind of on you for them to show you that they like you in a way that you want to be shown. So instead of love languages, there should be like languages. You should be telling people, if you want to spend more time with me, if you want to continue this, then you would give me consistent communication. You would text me back. You would make an effort to see me, right? Like, I think sometimes we don't know how to express the like because we don't know the other person yet. So it's good for you to set that person up for success and say, these are the things I like in a partner. And if they don't do these things, it's a very clear sign that they're not making the effort to show that they like you.
Let's hold that thought for a quick message.
Yay, it's summer, my favorite season. And you know what can make summer even better? Via hemp products. Need to chill out after a long day in the sun? There's a Via gummy for that. Dealing with anxiety or stress with summer travels? There's a gummy for that. Want to set the mood in the bedroom? There's a gummy for that. And that is actually my favorite gummy from Via. I'm talking about their best-selling High Love Gummy, a unique blend of pleasure-enhancing cannabinoids, libido-strengthening herbs, and a medium dose of THC, all into one mind-blowing gummy that will awaken your senses, increase blood flow, and intensify any sexual experience. I know it's meant for sexy time, but here's a little trick for you. I actually just love taking it for some of my longer walks. It makes all my surroundings look, smell, and feel so nice. And if THC is not your thing, Via also offers a wide array of THC-free gummies. Whatever you want to be in the mood for, Via has something for you. If you're over 21 years of age, you can get 15% off plus a free pack of award-winning gummies with our exclusive code DATEABLE at viahemp.com. That's spelled VIIAHEMP.com. And don't forget to use the code DATEABLE to get 15% off and a free pack of their award-winning gummies.
I am so excited to talk about our partner, Osea. You've probably heard me raving about this product, but I seriously cannot get enough. Feels like I'm having a spa day in my home every time I use their Undaria algae body oil. I love how it visibly firms my skin and leaves it feeling silky, soft, and unbelievably glowing. And it's the smell too. It just makes me feel like I'm at the spa because it smells like summer, bottled with all natural, uplifting notes of mango, mandarin, grapefruit, lime, and cypress. I also love that with Osea, I never have to choose between my values and my best skin because it's all vegan and cruelty-free, and also mother and daughter founded. Get healthy, glowing skin for summer with clean vegan skin and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code DATEABLE at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping for orders over $60. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use the code DATEABLE for 10% off. Are you out there in the dating world searching for that long-term, forever kind of connection? Whether you're riding solo or in a fresh relationship, I've got the perfect podcast just for you. It's none other than Sexology, hosted by the amazing Dr. Nazanin Moali, a psychologist and certified sex therapist. On Sexology, Dr. Moali deep dives into everything about sexual health and relationships, giving you profound insights about the mysteries of love and intimacy, from unraveling emotional bonds to tackling sexual sexual hurdles and boosting your sexual well-being, there's no podcast quite like Sexology. One of my recent favorite episodes was No Question Off Limits, a sex educator tells all. My mind was truly blown. But wherever you start, each episode is jam-packed with incredible strategies and eye-opening insights. And don't forget to catch up on some of the past episodes, such as what it means to be bad in bed, what exactly happens at a sex club, and how to become an expert in sexting. No matter where you start, this podcast will inspire you to view sex and intimacy in a whole new light, guiding you through your relationship journey with confidence. Tune in every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast fix. I like the setup of these are the things I need in a partner. It's less about you're doing something wrong, but we also have to question, do I like them? Do I like not knowing where I stand? Do I like having it be hot and cold? Do I like questioning whether they like me or not? None of that sounds fun, in my opinion. I feel like I definitely used to be in the world where I'd always be like, does this person like me? I need them to like me. And then there was that switch that happened of, do I like them? Do I like feeling this way?
And we see this in relationships too, is when you spend most of the courtship trying to get the other person to like you back, and then you end up in a relationship, you become resentful of them because you feel like, well, I spent all this effort trying to get you to like me, and how come this is an unequal partnership? Because you never stop to question, do you even like them and want to put in the effort?
Right.
So it's not a pageant. It does not mean that this is a popularity contest you need to win and you have to get everyone to like you back and everyone has to want to go out on a second date with you. Getting that second date is not a win. Getting that second date is a continuation of the conversation. There's no winning or losing here. And if someone likes you, it's not a win either. It opens up the door for more possibilities.
Yeah, I think the real question with it is, do I like myself? Because I think so many times we look at dating like validation, that if I can't get back to the second date, there's something fundamentally wrong with me. Why does nothing go to a second date? But if we can get out of that and just into, hey, I know what I bring to the table and someone's lucky to be with me, then that puts so much less of an onus on if they like you or not. You're not evaluating all these signs and you're just knowing in your gut when something feels reciprocal or not.
We're in such a weird place of modern dating with the rise of dating apps and online dating is that never have we ever been in a place where we are surrounded by this many eligible single people before. And now we are. So when we swipe on them, we automatically get that dopamine hit of, oh, this person likes me. But it doesn't really mean that. It just means that there's like the superficial connection on the apps. And so for some reason, we get in this mindset of like, I want as many people to like me as possible without stopping to think, why do I want that? Like, what does it say about me exactly that I need the vanity swipes to make me feel good about myself? So maybe it's a good time to have a very open conversation with yourself and say, why is it that I need people to like me back?
What does like even mean? Does it mean that they find you attractive and swipe on you? Does it mean they enjoy the conversation on a first date? Let's be honest, our date self on a first date, like how well do you really know that person?
Yeah.
Does it matter if they like you? Like that doesn't even show half of who you are, if not all of who you are. So it almost doesn't hold any weight of who you are as a person. And like is so subjective. And then I think we get in our heads too, like as things start to progress, like maybe we've gotten enough signs that, you know, they like us enough to keep going on dates, but we want to know, like, does this person really like me? And is this going to become a relationship? But it's less about, do they like you and more of, are they meeting you where you're at? Are they showing that they want to include you and they want to form a relationship with you? It's less about liking.
And something that we discovered recently is you can be really good at getting people to like you back. And this usually happens with people who are interesting, who's had a lot of life experiences, who are adventurous, who may have a very interesting job. So maybe you're just so used to everybody flocking to you because you are just a fascinating person. But when it comes to depth in a relationship, you drop out because all you have going for you or relying on is this crutch of you being an interesting person. So again, it's not a pageantry situation and it's not about winning people over. If you know you have a winning trick to get people to like you back, good for you, but it does not set the grounds for a sustainable relationship. So then it's like, what are you really looking looking for.
Right. Just liking each other doesn't mean that you're going to have a relationship with each other.
No.
It could be what you're saying, like they're drawn to you, but they can't envision a relationship. Or maybe two people really like each other, but neither one is prioritizing a relationship right now. So it's how do we get out of the mindset of, do they like me? I also feel like we can't control if they like me.
Mm-hmm.
They like you. There's no way we can control another human being. All we can do is show up as ourselves and give as much of ourselves as we can to that other person, in the sense of making them fully seen and heard, making them feel connected. And that doesn't mean that you need to force it, but so many times we think about being liked that we're trying to put on this one person show that we're failing to just connect with people at a fundamental level.
I'm going to say this because I think this is also important to understand, is that it's not about you. And we've done some coaching sessions with some of our listeners, and they say, well, I need to bring a fun topic into the date. I need to talk about something interesting that happened in my life. I need to have good conversation on a date. What only really matters is on a date, you listen and pay attention to the person you're on a date with, and you show that you care about their life and who they are. It's not about bringing in the entertainment. Anybody can stream Netflix. Like, yeah, if you want to have an entertaining date, go stream Netflix on your date, and then you don't have to talk at all. It doesn't matter what the content is you're bringing in. It's about the other person and getting to know them. So stop coming in with that entertainer mentality. Nobody paid for the show. Okay. They want their refund. You can go back to the box office and just come in as who you are, a genuinely curious and thoughtful and kind human being.
Yeah, I always think of the episode you did with Andrew.
Always.
We
Yes.
had you on the blind date. This was such a revelation for you.
Such a revelation.
You went in being like, I'm going to slay this date. I know how to do a first date. Of course he's going to like me. And then he said, it wasn't that he didn't like you, but he's like, I don't need to be entertained. I want to connect with someone.
Yeah. And he said point blank, it's very easy to go on a good date.
Yeah.
Like, I can be entertained. I can talk to anybody, but it's very hard to find a connection on a date. That was eye-opening for me. And I certainly dated differently. And it bled into other parts of my life too, where it's like going on job interviews and connecting with friends. It's not about the stories you bring in. It's about connecting. We always forget that.
Yep. So bringing it back to this one, though, if someone's giving you those mixed messages, I think first of all, need to stop and be like, do I even like this person? That's number one. Do I like being treated this way? And if you feel like it's worth it still, have a clarifying conversation to share how you like to be treated.
Yes. Well, thank you for this question. We love it. It's not as simple as when we were in the third grade and saying, do you like me? Because I like you. And now we're together.
I mean, it's so funny because it's like, it isn't that simple, but maybe it should be that simple.
That would be nice.
Maybe in this case too, it's like, hey, we've gone on a bunch of dates. I really like you. Like, how are you feeling? Like, what? Like, that's like the passing the note of the fifth grade.
Sometimes you just need permission, right? Like, if you just open up the conversation with I like you, it gives the other person permission to say I like you as well.
Yeah.
But if nobody says it, we call it, are you looking for a soulmate or a stalemate? We love this phrase, right? If you're looking for stalemate, easy. Just keep asking questions to people who are not your partner, and then nothing will happen. But if you want to move it along, come forward with what you're asking for.
Yeah. And if you say, do you like me? They're probably wondering, do they want me to like them?
Right. Yeah.
Am I supposed to say yes? But if you start with, hey, I really like you. I feel like I'm getting mixed messages. Like, what's going on for you?
You're right. Maybe we should simplify it a little bit. And that's why we love these questions, because we will answer the question for you, but we'll also help you rephrase and reframe the question. So keep them coming. You can email us your questions by emailing hello@dateablepodcast.com, or you can DM us on Instagram @dateablepodcast. And we always read those questions and we try to answer them to the best of our ability.
We'll see you next week for another brunch talk.
Bye. The Dateable Podcast is part of the Frolic Media Network. Find more podcasts you'll love at frolic.media/podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram @dateablepodcast and visit dateablepodcast.com for access to all the episodes and our premium programs. Also, make sure to subscribe today if you haven't already on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform, so you are the first to get all the latest episodes. And most importantly, stay dateable.
Before you leave this episode, just a reminder to head over to dateablepodcast.com/programs if you want to get in on our Meeting People IRL Masterclass and see what else we have in store.